Hi, it's Rosalie. I wanted to talk about shoulder tension today. That kind that is diffuse and it's in this area, and we get it sometimes from doing a whole lot of activity and sometimes from spending too much time at our desks doing not a whole lot of activity. And sometimes it's just there. It's one of those areas that tends to be affected quite a bit by our stressy mental processes. Not saying you're stressy or anything, but it is something that it's affected a lot by stress. So, what to do about it? There are exercises, and then there are the ways you do the exercises. So, I'm going to talk about a shoulder roll, but it's not just a shoulder roll like I'm going to just do this, and that'll make it all better, because we don't want to be thinking about it in just mechanical terms, because it is a body-mind. It is a body-mind, so we want involvement of our mind with our body in this shoulder roll. We get more out of it that way. I'll say more about why we get more out of it some other time, but we get a lot more out of it when we're using both our mind and our body together. And the plus is that makes it a whole lot more interesting. It can be hard to do a therapeutic exercise if it's boring. It's hard to do anything if it's boring. I'm facing this way so you can see. So basically, like, here's my shoulder, and I'm wearing a dark sweater, so that's not very helpful, but I can make very small circles with it. I can make very big circles with it. These are circles where I'm not moving my rib cage. I'm trying not to move it very much anyway. I'm not putting like a whole lot of effort into holding my rib cage steady. I'm just trying to be mindful of the fact that moving my rib cage is not moving my shoulder. So it's not just the movement, but the way the movement is done. So for the next little bit, I'm going to close my eyes because I want to not have that extra distraction of all of the visual information that goes, the optical nerve is like, it's a really big nerve, it's like that big, and it just goes straight into your brain. So if you close your eyes, you can get some of the information on the back roads nerves that take a little while to get there. So I close my eyes, I put my attention, my awareness on my shoulder from the inside, from my interior perspective, and then I just see, like, okay, can I move it around? And the thing that makes this interesting is the question, can I move it around smoothly? Okay, I can move it around smoothly like that. There's a little kind of clunky ratchet thing at the top, and then it gets smooth again. And it's smoother when I do it forward. And then if I do it really big, and this is more the speed that I'm actually advocating doing this at, not the quicker speeds. You could even go slower than this. If I do it big, my shoulder way up to my ear, way forward, what's that like? In some ways it's easier than doing the very small, subtle shoulder movement that you probably can't see because of my dark sweater, but it's a small movement. Right, so there's that. You can do the same kind of mindful, exploratory movement by adding or focusing on your neck. Like, what if I give my shoulder a break for a minute and I explore my neck? for one thing, can it make a nice smooth circle? Ooh, there's a little pain in my shoulder when I do that. Isn't that interesting? And it's totally not even where my, where my neck is really. It's like down in my shoulder. Well, that's cool. It's useful to not just be afraid of pain. It's like, oh, pain. Huh. Okay. And if I do this, like, how does that change that? And what about like, ooh, what if I do a neck circle with my head, like in that position? When I get here, it's like, oh, that's really hard to do. Why is that hard to do? That's interesting. Okay, maybe not why is that hard to do, because now I'm like analyzing it, but just like, oh, it's hard to do. Yeah, so what else to say about that? I feel like I had another thought there. Oh yeah. There's another, like, you can work with your whole shoulder girdle. I was having fun, like right about this level, with my eyes closed, because it's hard to do it with my eyes open, picturing a ball about this big, size of a racquetball, and just in my mind rolling it around the inside of my rib cage. So it rolls on the front, goes around the side. It's like, oh, that's neat. There's that ball. And as it goes, it pushes outward against my rib cage. And that's a fun one. And then what else? What else? Like, oh, I can use, I can rotate my humerus in and out, my upper arm bone, and I can use my arm as a handle. So it's attached at one end, at my elbow, and it's attached to the other end of my shoulder, and it's just one bone up here. So as I move my arm one way, move my arm the other way, it's rotating the humeral head up here. So I can do things with that, like, oh, if I do this, I'm rotating my humeral head and moving it, circumducting it. That's fun. What if I include shoulder girdle movement in there? Oh, gosh, this bears resemblance to a everyday activity, like, say, brushing my hair, for instance. Well, what if I do it the opposite way? I never brush my hair the opposite way. Or maybe, but... Anyway, I feel like I'm kind of losing my train of thought now. But that was supposed to be about shoulder mobilization and, yeah, ways to get back in touch with these muscles.